What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Super Saturday. Today we're playing Street Fighter Alpha 1 Warrior's Dreams on the arcade. This is the arcade version of Street Fighter Alpha. Mainly because I think the arcade version looks better than any other version that's out there. And also because it's just the original. It's the original game. You can get this game on like PlayStation, or you can get it on, I think even Switch now with the 30th anniversary collection, but I wanted to play the original. So that's what we're doing today. Welcome to the stream, everybody. We're going to get things started here in just a second. Today we're going to try to beat the game with as many people as we can. Just because it's one of my favorite games of all. Well, maybe not my favorite game of all time. Alpha 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. But this one's definitely one of my favorite games, and it's pretty awesome. Alright, so we got the arcade stick out here, and so this game, I can't really do anything until I press the coin button, because we got to insert coins in this game. I'm actually kind of in the middle of maybe not building, but modifying this arcade unit I have back here, the 1-Up arcade, and one of the things I want to do is add a coin catch to it. So I can actually get, so I can actually put coins into it and play. And I've done all the research. I know how to do it. I'm really excited to try. So, all right. So if you're not familiar with Alpha, Alpha takes place between Street Fighter 1 and Street Fighter 2. It's the first in the series. And from what I've heard, and what I've seen on like Wikipedia and stuff, most people consider Alpha 1, 2, and 3 to be the same game. But I kind of have like this idea that they're not, that they're actually sequels. But a lot of the endings that you'll see are the same as in Alpha 2 and 3. So for example, I think Ken's ending is the same in all 3 games. So, oh dang. Whew. So Ken's ending is the same in all 3 games, because in my mind he didn't really do anything between Street Fighter 1 and Street Fighter 2. But you'll see other characters have different endings. Oh god. Yikes. Poor Chun-Li. That sucks. So Street Fighter 2 is one of those games where I felt like it was definitely, like, Street Fighter 2 didn't really happen, but Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo did. Because all of those characters are the same. All the endings are the same. They just added new characters. And in my mind, there's no difference. There's no version of Street Fighter Alpha or Street Fighter 2 that existed without Cammy or T-Hawk or anything like that. Or Akuma, for that matter. But after Street Fighter 2, the timeline gets really weird. The timeline goes to... the timeline goes to Street Fighter 4? Yeah, 4. And then 5, and then it goes to Street Fighter 3. It's really weird. Oh god. Dojo Wonderlust, welcome to the stream. Street Fighter action on the screen. This is the arcade version of Street Fighter Alpha. I freaking love it. It's so cool. Rose, I want to beat the game with Rose. I think she has a really cool ending, a really cool storyline. I want to know more about her. Or I want to at least talk more about her. I haven't done a Dragon Punch. There's one. Oh, dang. But Rose is a badass character. Like, I believe, if I remember correctly, she was a clone of Bison. But also, like, I'm pretty sure Cammy was, too. I don't remember. Been a while. Oh, I missed. Alpha counters, I forgot. Alpha counters are literally the best. Like, they're the coolest thing in the game. I won't do them very often against a computer because it's hard to predict when they're going to hit you, but I'll try. Buddy. So this game is very basic too. There's only like 3 or 4 stages. There's not that many stages in the game. Which is why I like Alpha 2 better, because they gave everybody their own stage, which was awesome. This game is kind of like, I feel like it's immediately after the events of Street Fighter 1. In my mind, anyway. So it's immediately after those events, which means there's not really a whole lot of content, because there's not really a whole lot of stuff after those events. Ah. What was that? That pose. What was that? I want a screenshot of that. That was so funny. Birdie's like a weird character because I'm pretty sure he was in Street Fighter 1, but he looked totally different. You got me instead, you son of a bee. I'm dead, man. So, here's the history on Street Fighter 2. Sagat was always Sagat. In Japan... Oh, great. In Japan, they couldn't... All the other bosses had different names. Oh, get wrecked, Sagat. So, to make things easier, I'm going to call them by what the community calls them. There's Boxer, who obviously we know is Balrog. Boxer. There's Claw, who obviously is Vega. And there's Dictator, who obviously is M. Bison. In Japan, they all had different names. Ah, jeez. Oh, eat it. Eat it, Sagat. The Boxer was called M. Bison. Claw was called Balrog. And Dictator was called Vega. They changed it. They changed all the names because they didn't want anybody thinking that Mike Tyson was Balrog. Or they didn't get any lawsuits from that, so they changed it in America. Which makes sense, I get that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It just made things confusing when you're looking at a Japanese version. Oh, he's gonna destroy me. Oh, dang it. Wow. He just grabbed me out of it. Okay. Is I wish that they would put, they would remake Street Fighter 1 in a way that lets you play as all the characters. That would be so dope. They probably won't do it, but I think if any game needs to be remade, it's Street Fighter 1 for sure. But Street Fighter 1 is, man, it's a good game. Well, it's a hard game is what it is. It's not a good game. I didn't like it. What? What? I've never seen that move before. But anyway, you. This is Charlie, by the way. Street Fighter 2. Oh, really? Guile was looking for Charlie. Tried to find him. Nice. And turned out Charlie was dead. So when I was a kid, I thought that was a cool storyline. Like, who was Charlie? Like who is Charlie gonna be? What does he look like? You know, what is he? Who is he? And there was never any reference material as far as like who Charlie was until Alpha came out. And once his character design was shown off, I was like, this dude is so cool. Like, immediately I was like, this character is so awesome. Oh man, I pressed the wrong button. But he is. I think he does look pretty badass. He's not really what I expected, but I think he just... You look at him and you're like, that makes sense. That's Charlie. That's cool. This game, everybody does have their own boss. Just like Alpha 2. You're a hard man to find. Everyone's talking about you now because he beat Sagat in Street Fighter 1. Long time no see. Still training? Still good enough to beat you. We'll see about that. Man. I don't recall Ryu being that hard. The shade he just gave Ken was unreal, though. Like, he's like, now I'll go find a better challenge. Oh god. I'm just taking these hits? Why? Got him. Alright, ending time. Ken Masters. Ending time. We all had super things. You fight with the fury of a tiger. As do you, my friend. I must return to Japan. What are your plans, Ken? I must return home to America. Someone has issued a challenge to me. See you then. Take care. Back in America, Ken finds his challenger at a karate tournament. After destroying the opposition. That's his girlfriend, Eliza. Or that's his soon-to-be girlfriend, Eliza. You fight well. For why do you fight? For money, fame, or the attention? There's a man that I must defeat. Until that day, I will not stop. He must pay. Wouldn't want to be him. By the way, my name is Eliza. So it looks like he meets Eliza after Street Fighter 1. They get married, I think, by Street Fighter... I want to say 4? Keeping in mind that 4 takes place after 2. I think the man he's talking about is Akuma. I think. I don't know, but I think. Or maybe it's, I don't know. Hype. We did it. But yeah, so part of the reason I feel like Alpha 1, 2, and 3 are different games, and that 2 and 3 are sequels chronologically. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because I saw on a website a while ago that Alpha 2 is considered a remake of Alpha 1, and Alpha 3 is considered a remake or the definitive edition of the Alpha series. But I just don't feel that way, because in this ending, Ken beats Ryu. And, you know, it is what it is. He goes back to America and meets Eliza. In the next one, he beats Ryu and gives Ryu his bandana, which he hadn't done at this point. So that's why I think that these games are chronologically individual.